I'm going to start this video off with a question. And it's a very simple question. That question is, why do you pick your skin? Why do you pick your skin when you pick your skin? Now, I think a interesting phenomenon is that many of you cannot answer this question, or at least cannot answer it in specificity and detail. Meaning you are unable to trace the timeline as to the event that started, the slow accumulation that led to an intense and unbearable internal experience in your body where you believed that the only way to get release or relief was to pick your skin. Now, what if I were to tell you that there are situations in your life that you believe you cannot handle, that you basically endure and cope your way through, thinking and believing that you do not have the strength or the know-how to actually direct the situation to a way where you don't end up limiting and compromising yourself. And that life is throwing these situations at you, and you are a victim to them. And then you're furthermore a victim to the disorder as your coping mechanism. Let's take an example. Let's look at a fear of conflict, either with your partner or your boss, a friend, someone in your life, where you feel that you are unable to stand up for yourself and voice yourself in exactly the way you want to, where when conflict happens, you end up stopping speaking, you suppress yourself, you shut yourself down and agree, instead of not standing up, standing up for yourself, instead of being able to engage with the person in such a way where you are able to walk the scenario through to a solution where both people are heard. So what happens here is that there is an immense fear of conflict, where when the conflict happens, you crumble and fall. And then the second stage is that once that situation has taken place, in the aftermath, you go into self-judgment and regret, self-belittlement. You end up having compromised yourself, and then you react to that compromise. Now you see how this entire situation can play out, where one is quite a victim and disempowered. And that's just one example. There are a plethora of scenarios in life, depending on who you are and how you were raised and the people in your life and the situations, where we have this perception that there are these things that happen in life that we just can't handle. Maybe it's being cheated on by your partner, feeling jealous. Maybe it is feeling insecure, or one that I see a lot is when one's partner becomes very angry at you, and it's just like this crushing experience. Now, having a crushing experience is going to absolute powerlessness and disempowerment. It is not handling an experience as a confident and mature person that is able to effectively communicate. So, why do we pick our skin? It's because there are situations in life that we believe we can't handle. Now, if you just look at that statement, is it true? Are there situations in life that you believe that you cannot handle, that you don't have the skills for? And when you look at it like that, can't you also see the solution? That what is necessary is simply the development of these skills, where if you were to have these skills and have developed them, the entire play out would be avoided. And not only would it be avoided, but it would be walked in such a way where the result would be to the best interest of yourself and the other person involved, where communication and respect is developed. These things that I'm talking about are not idealistic impossibilities. These are simple life skills that they require only being recognized and being understood and having a structured way to walk through them. And this is what I do in my chats and through my coursework on my website, ocdforgiveness.com, where I will work with you to identify these experiences that you feel powerlessness towards, and where you don't have a way to direct the situation, and you don't even know what skills to develop or where to start. So when you have a fall, when you fall into skin picking and you have all the marks, tell yourself what that is indicating is that something happened in my life that I felt powerlessness towards, that I felt unable to direct. And I used my coping mechanism to get release and relief, to find comfort and security in a moment alone with myself as a self-soothing and a bit of a twisted act of self-care. I have several methods to deal with these situations. One of them I'd like to mention, but not go into in too much detail, is what I call my diffusing meditation, where you identify the emotional experience before it is at a stage of too lateness, where it has become so big and so unbearable inside your body. You know, that sensation, that feeling that we're all so familiar with. Where you catch it before that, you catch it as a premature, entity, and you diffuse it before it gets there. So that's a bit of a sneak peek into one of my approaches, and that is dealing with the physical sensation. What we also will be dealing with is the information, the words. So describing it in words, and once you have the words that describe the internal sensation, you can find the root of where they started and why. And then we structure a plan for how to direct yourself, and then we practice it into your living. Now, I'm speaking now from a point of having done this myself, and to let you know that this is possible. And it's not only possible, but it's quite simple. And also not to judge yourself for having such a simple solution available, because the world we live in complicates things and has a distorted view on human beings and on mental health and well-being. So not to judge yourself for not having corrected this disorder for yourself, not to judge yourself for having the disorder, and not to judge yourself when you act on the disorder, but to instead embrace yourself fully in understanding, in self-appreciation, in self-trust that you can do this. And I would like to be the one that walks this with you. I have a lot to share, and we will be able to go into a lot of detail, and you will have someone to be accountable to. Check out the link for my website and have a look around. Otherwise, just keep in touch, subscribe to my channel, and I post videos quite regularly, so I will see you around. Okay, thank you. Bye.